Hello YouTube, this is MrSurplusnut here doing the second part video to the K31 Schmidt Rubin. This is a rifle that I purchased from Samco Global, and on the first part I was able to show you guys real close in the camera the way the finishing came out on this gun. I did the stock on it. I really didn't put any stain on it. It was just a matter of sanding it down and refinishing it with polyurethane. Basically what we're going to talk in this video is the bolt. The bolt design of this gun is a very well done bolt design, being that it's a straight pull. Many other bolt design have been tried to be put in rifles that are straight pull, but they haven't succeeded as much as the Swiss did. And on this one, as you see, when you pull it straight back, it cocks the actual mechanism of the gun. It's got this ring back here that now when we pull the bolt forward, you'll see how you can put the actual bolt on safety. Right now, let's go ahead and take the bolt out of the gun. As you can see it right now, the bolt, what I did to it, I didn't really have to do anything except polishing it. Besides polishing the bolt, and not just for looks, it makes it work a lot smoother. As you can see, it's a good idea to keep it very lubed, oiled. Okay, not only does it helps the bluing on this handle here, but it just helps the whole mechanism of the bolt as you cycle the bolt back and forward to work really well. So this is like your bolt from the K31. It's a straight pull design, and the difference between this bolt and from other bolts is that the Swiss had it really figured out that when they will cock the gun, they really didn't have to move their head off the stock of the gun. Basically what they could do is they will keep their cheek on the butt of the gun while they were aiming, and they could cycle the bolt very rapidly. That's why it's the straight bolt design was a success for them. And this was one of the things, like I mentioned earlier in my first video, that not just the bolt design on this gun, which makes it a very rapid firing weapon, overall the rifle, the way it was built, the accuracy of this gun, this is basically the most accurate rifle from World War II that any country ever came out with. And overall, the way the gun is made and built, and also with the bolt mechanism and design, it was one of the things that kept the Germans from invading Switzerland. Even though Switzerland was a neutral city within Europe, but believe it or not, there's no way. There's some people that will argue whether a Mauser is better than a K31. I can tell you right off the bat, I have a K98 Mauser, which I did a review on, and I can tell you, as far as accuracy goes, there's nothing that will compare to a K31. And overall, the finish of the gun, this is like a Swiss watch, man. This is like, I mean, the fit of the gun, the metal, the wood that they used, the overall design. This is a rifle that will last 100, 200 years. It's got a very powerful cartridge. It shoots a 7.5 by 55 Swiss. Very accurate round, especially if you get that's still a lot of it. It's out there. The GP11, it's a very accurate match grade ammo. But overall, all these things influenced in as far as Hitler not invading the Swiss. Some people will argue and they'll tell you that that's not the reason why he didn't invade Switzerland, and they go as far as saying that, you know, that it wasn't because of the rifle, because the K98 is a better weapon than the K31, which I don't think so, as far as the accuracy of it. And but anyways, if you start looking at the bolt design on a bolt action gun, once you have your cheek on the cheek well of the buttstock, every time you're going to cycle that bolt and you bring it up, you will have to get a little bit off sight from that weapon and cycle the bolt, and even kind of like back your head a little bit till you cycle that back in. The design of this bolt right here on the K31 were designed that you can actually, and I'm going to be showing you in a minute, you can actually cycle the bolt in a way that you really don't have to move your head a whole lot, and you can still stay in sight with what you're aiming at, and that will give you a very rapid fire rate out of this weapon. Now on this bolt here, we're going to put it back in here. One of the things you need to know in all of them, the follower of the magazine, it will, once you pull it back all the way, it won't let you move it forward unless you push it down a little bit. Okay, there we go. And because if you had a clip full of rounds, it'll be fine. But here in this case, oh, another thing that I want to mention on this bolt, like I just did, I'm going to show you real quick here, up close, that when you cycle this bolt forward, you're going to notice that if you just come forward a little bit like that, the bolt, see that gap here? That gap in here between the receiver and the actual bolt, right there, that bolt is not in battery. Meaning that the locking lugs of the bolt haven't locked into the chamber in the receiver, and right now you can have a misfire or you can really damage the gun. And another thing, the way to tell is that the serial number of the bolts don't face completely up. I'm gonna cycle the bolt now the proper way so you can see when the bolt is in battery how it completely looks. Just keep in mind this gap here, and also how you don't see the serial number on the bolt facing up. So right now, I wouldn't even try, even though I've never done it, I've never tried to pull the trigger on this because I don't want to ruin my gun. But if we were to pull it back again, the way to cock these guns is when you come forward, you don't have to slam it hard, but just give it a good, there you go. And now you see it up close, you're going to see how this gap here is completely closed, and the serial numbers are facing up. Okay, this gun right now, it's in full battery. The bolt, there's no gap in here, and as you see, the serial numbers on the bolt are facing up. Those are two ways of making sure you have a bolt that is completely locked properly, and you're in full battery power. Okay, another thing that you can do with this gun, the way you work the safeties on this, is you pull this ring back, and you turn it to the side. Right there, you cannot shoot the gun, or, let's go forward again, or the bolt, even when you go forward, it'll still, so it's a it'll still won't fire. It's a very good design with this ring here. And all you do, you pull it back again, and you bring it in, and now the rifle's ready to go. I like these type of rings because I really try not to dry fire my guns that much, but in this case you can hold it here, the ring, and we'll just use the two-stage trigger, which this gun has. It's a two-stage trigger. The take-up creep is right here, and then when it gets to the point that you can fire it, you can fire. I'm going to dry fire just so you guys can see the trigger, which is pretty light on this gun. It's about 3 pounds, and I've heard that if you do some polishing in the mechanism of the trigger, you can even bring it down to like maybe 2 pounds. So this is right here, a two-stage trigger. Right here is already energized, and if you just go and touch it very lightly, boom, right there. Okay, so it's a very good design on this weapon. I like the straight bolt design. I'm going to show you guys how when you will shoulder this gun and you were to shoot it at the range, notice how when I pull the bolt back, on a regular bolt, you will have to kind of like come up a little bit, cycle, and forward. This thing, just go forward. Obviously, I got to put the follower now. Go forward, and you barely have to get your head out of the way. Okay? So it was just a matter of going clack clack, you know, cycling the bolt, and you can still stay. Some people might say, well, you can probably do the same with a Mauser. I've tried it with my Mauser, and by the time I'm up here, it's already, your hand is kind of like in the way. This here, you can keep your hand alongside the stock and just use your 2 fingers and cycle this bolt real rapidly, and you'll be right on target constantly without having to do a lot of movement with your head or moving the weapon out of sight on your shoulder. So this weapon is a rifle that it was well designed. Buy as much as you can of the K31s because they are drying up everywhere, especially the walnut. Once you get a walnut, you might want to end up buying another one, at least some beechwood, to have both wood stocks. They made them in beechwood and walnut. So this is going to be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I just wanted to make a second part to this to talk a little bit more about the actual bolt. You guys have a great day, and I hope you enjoy the video.